What did you find most difficult about the paper? It can't be everything. Specifics, things that you struggled with. Anyone?
For me, I realized that when I witnessed, when I had to write the risk of financial things.
Risk of misstatement.
And
okay.
I waste a lot of time. I realized I took too long. That's one of the things I need to work on. That I took too much time, and I ended up sacrificing the other time from other questions.
Okay.
And I can see where the risk is, but I think my problem is communicating it in a manner that is short and concise and to the point.
Okay. It is something that we'll also address when we talk about your responses. Anyone else that want to share what they struggled with? Struggled with G. G is reporting. Okay. We'll talk about G when we get there. Companies Act question. Okay. The concerns. Okay. All right. Audit procedures. Why? Because I excluded the general ones and agreeing numbers and. Okay. Did anyone struggle with the IFRS 16 question? Did you know what they were asking there? Okay. So we'll talk about IFRS 16. I'm not an accounting expert, so don't worry, I'll never test something that is deep in accounting. It's very easy. But we'll talk about it. Anything else? Because I'm a bit worried about that IFRS 16 part.
How marks are given, especially
Two? Companies Act. Okay. Because
show me.
Show me. Okay. I'll show you how you should show me. Hi. Did you write?
Yes.
Name? Oh. Okay. All right, guys. We'll talk about it when we get to that part. Don't worry. So today, I don't want to spend most of my time on the scenario, but on the solution at least, so that we talk about the parts that where you guys went wrong. Okay. So let's read the scenario. Everyone has a copy of the scenario? If you don't have, please just sit next to someone who has. Do you have a copy of the scenario? Okay. All right. So you're a third-year trainee accountant at GSN Incorporated. How many SNG trainees do I have here? Did you get confused in there? Do you want to write SNG? Okay. So you're a third-year trainee accountant at GSN Incorporated. GSN, a firm of black chartered accountants established in 1995 that has been growing year by year. GSN has network firms in various African countries, and it was accredited to audit companies that are listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange in the year 2000. Recently, GSN made headlines when it merged with a medium-sized global accounting firm, Tone Great, TG. As part of this deal, it was decided that the name of the firm will remain GSN. You are currently busy with the audit of the 30 June 2018 year end of Ultra Tough Limited. Was it tough? Ultra Tough Limited, and this is the first time you're involved in this audit. Okay. So, is this where you guys got confused? Because I saw in your risk of material misstatement, you guys were talking about this is the first time auditing this client. I was like,
Yeah.
where are these guys getting it?
Was it the thing, or was it new? It was new in the team.
Yeah. So we are talking about you, the trainee accountant, your first time being involved in the audit, right? I'll show you down later on why I'm saying that it wasn't the first year of auditing this client. Okay. The year end is important, right, guys? Some people are talking about 6 months, financial statements within 6 months. I didn't understand where that was coming from, but maybe we'll talk about it when we get the concerns with the Companies Act. Okay. UTIL was established 25 years ago and incorporated in South Africa. It has become to be known as a leading supplier of machinery used in quarrying industry, with its customers operating quarries which extract stone used mainly for construction. Okay, so guys, is this a manufacturing industry or construction industry? Manufacturing or construction? Hello guys. Did you write? Maybe you can just come through to get your scripts. Guys, is it a manufacturing or is it a construction? Yes. Would I necessarily say that laws and regulations in the construction industry affect me? Hold on. Yes, but?
If the construction is struggling, then just the disruptions, if the construction is struggling, then it will affect the
Okay, so in a way, if I'm asking about a risk question or a strategy question, you'll be talking about concerns linked to that, right? Because maybe my main customers are struggling. But would I necessarily say that there's a risk of material misstatement due to the construction industry? No. So I saw that in some of the responses, but it's not a construction industry, it's a manufacturing industry, right? If you asked about going concern, we don't have enough, but you could say it could be a problem because the construction industry is struggling, right? But it's not a construction, it's a manufacturing industry. Okay, because we are manufacturing what? Equipment, machines and equipment. Okay, guys? Customers approach UTL to design and develop a machine or piece of equipment specific to their needs. Where management considers that the design work will be significant, the customer is required to pay 25% payment in advance, which is used to fund the design work. The remaining 75% is paid on delivery of the machine to the customer. Typically, a machine takes 3 months to build, and a smaller piece of equipment takes, on average, 6 weeks. Right. These two sentences, guys, what do they show me? Okay, I'm more worried about revenue recognition and maybe my data and things like that, right? But it's at assertion level, right? My risk is at assertion level. Do you agree?
So you can't discuss the risk relating to revenue
at overall. Because remember, at overall, you must show how it's pervasive to the entire financial statements. So how will you show it if you talk about revenue only?
Because I was thinking if being used standard it's complex.
Okay. It affects? I didn't hear that, Lynn. I think I like that response. Hi, did you write? Name? Sorry? Oh, it's the... Yes. This is yours, right? Is there anyone I didn't give their script? Okay. So what did we conclude? Does it affect my entire financial statements or it affects my specific things?
It affects specific things, but also the specific things are significant. Well, then why is it not?
Good. So I like this response, right? If you just say it's specific things and you don't show me why you're saying it's pervasive to the financial statements, you don't get the mark. You don't get the mark. But you need to show me. That's why you see, I always write, show me, right? So if you decide that there's a new standard implemented, right? It's not the risk, right? We know that they have a task force and what, right? But what is the issue, right? You need to go into the specific to show. Because if you just say new standard, I'm not going to give you the mark.
How would you say it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to bring implementation of IFRS 15, right? You can say that there's a risk of material misstatement at the overall financial statement level due to the following, right? There's a new accounting standard, IFRS 15, right, that has been early adopted, right? Okay? Revenue is a significant portion of the financial statement, is therefore pervasive to financial statements, right? So financial statements, could be, or I don't have to repeat, could be materially misstated, but if you show me why you're saying at umbrella level, because revenue in this case in the manufacturing business, right, besides cost of sales, it's your significant item, right? But if you just write and say new standard, what about it?
The new standards, that is complex,
Yeah, it's complex, I agree.
but it's not enough to say it's a new standard that is complex, which might lead to errors when people are preparing the overall.
But what errors, you see, that's the thing at overall, because you're talking about revenue. IFRS 15 is revenue. So if you're just saying it's complex, but how will it affect, because I can tell you that, okay, at revenue, it could be limited to a certain level. What are you going to do about it? It's more about explaining why you're saying it's an issue. Right? I agree it's complex, but most of you just said new standards, but you didn't show me.
To tackle the significance and pervasiveness.
Yeah. If you want to bring the issue of standard, because I can come and say this thing is only affecting revenue and data, what are you going to say to me?
So you would say what? What give us the sentence?
Okay, let me just repeat so that is comfortable. Okay, so there's a risk of material misstatement at the overall financial statement level, right? Due to the following, right? There's a new standard that has been early adopted, IFRS 15, right? Good. So, like you said, there could be errors, but it's not enough to say that, right? There could be errors because the standard is complex and revenue is a significant portion of the financial statements. Okay? Comfortable. Guys, are we together? Don't just end at saying there could be errors, because IFRS 15 doesn't affect all of them, right? Happy, guys? Typically, a machine takes 3 months to build, and a smaller piece of equipment takes average 6 weeks. The design and manufacture of customized machinery involving advanced payments increased during the year. UTL also manufactures a range of generic products which are offered for sale to all customers, including drills, conveyors, and crushing equipment. So when I asked about risk of material misstatement at association level, there are a lot of people that started talking about equipment, working process, all those things. Was it necessary to discuss it in this case? Yes, no? Why yes? I say no because in your required, I said limit your answer to components. Did you see that? So you guys were raising very valid points in your ROM for inventory. But in your required, I said limit your answer to components. So it's not that your procedures were wrong. Sorry, not procedures. Your points were wrong, but you didn't read the required. It's important, guys, to read the required. Hey, are we together? Summary of discussion points from UTL Audit Committee meeting. This year has been successful from a strategic point of view in that UTL was listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange in July 2017, and in doing so raised a significant amount of equity finance. The company's corporate governance was reviewed as part of the flotation process, resulting in the recruitment of 3 new non-executive directors and a new finance director. You see, guys, this paragraph had about 3-4 marks for you in your risk of material misstatement at overall financial statement level. Did you pick it up? At overall financial statement level. Do you see my indicators? What are my indicators there? right? That's number one. So first time being listed, okay? You also have each being listed, right? Because it gives you different marks, right? First time being listed, chances are at the end of the financial year they're not complying with the listings requirement, right? No, not chances are, but it's possible, right? There's that risk because it's the first time, right? It being listed, stringent listings requirements, right? And you could also manipulate financial statements to give a good profitability or assets position so that your share price goes up. So you guys are just saying to manipulate the share price, and then I'll ask how. It's not a complete response. Manipulate the share price. Okay, how are they going to manipulate the share price? You need to put it down. Are you comfortable, guys? So it's not that you guys didn't know, but you knew what you're talking about, but putting it down is important. Okay? So there's a risk of material statement at the overall financial statement level due to the following, right? So you've got first time listing on the JSE, right? And also listed on the JSE. So what is the risk there? Because I just gave you an indicator. Do you agree? Good. So the risk now there is management could manipulate financial statements in order to meet the stringent listing requirements. Because if you don't meet the requirements, you get delisted or shares get suspended, right? Number two, they could manipulate the financial statement, fraudulently manipulate the financial statements so that profitability is high, assets are whatever, a good financial position, so that the share price goes up, right? And remember, also, but as we go down, they also had that bonus thing that was linked to their share price and their profitability and things like that. That's another indicator as well for them to what? To fraudulently report. Okay. But in your solution, I put these things down in a way that you can understand them as well. So I encourage you guys to read the solution when you go back home. We'll cover the solution in class. So today we'll do things a little bit different on our review so that we get into the specifics in our solution.
Sorry, good morning. I'm hearing that you're talking mainly about the risk, but I wanted to know the audit response.
Good. Okay, guys. So audit response. So we're responding to risk at the overall financial statement level, guys. Do you agree? Right? So the moment you give me audit procedures, you're responding at assertion level, right? Yes. Do you agree? Do you know where to find the easy 10 marks? No. ISA 330, paragraph A1. It gives you, if you just had gone to the standard and you list exactly as they are, you would have gotten marks. It gives you things like more supervision, 330, paragraph cap A1. It gives you more experienced staff. It gives you increasing sample sizes. Those procedures, you are responding at overall, it's an umbrella term. It affects all the line items you're going to respond to. Do you agree? So if you see at overall financial statement level, your responses must be umbrella responses as well. Are you together? So I think in most of you guys that didn't identify it, I was writing ISA 330 cap A1 because I was trying to direct you to. So those responses are at overall financial statement level. And those are the easy marks. I made it difficult on the left-hand side, made it easy on the right-hand side because you can just copy and list.
So, can you repeat response?
Responses. Things like assigning more experienced staff, assigning partners that have experience on the list, JSE listed entities, more supervision, timely reviews, increasing sample sizes. These things, do you agree that they cover all the financial statement line items? It's not specific to one financial statement line item.
But the trick is when you are asking for a table, because now it seems like you need to respond to each and those things you say as overall.
Yeah, so what I was trying to show you here is to avoid repeating your responses, because you might give me more experienced staff at the top, and then on another one, you're giving me more experienced stuff. So you'd see I would put a big R. So I wanted you to think about the different responses. Because if you focus on those small, not small little ones, but those 3 or 4 responses, those are the ones you'll ever know. But if you remember where you identified that you might need an expert here, for example, your risk due to non-compliance with laws and regulations, right? You need experts, legal experts, right? But that is not in your ISA 330 A1, but it's something that will help you respond to that risk.
Also, maybe you can have your individual and then say overall and list those. Will you still get marks?
Yeah, but you can just, when you list as and when, right, just if you want to spread them across your risks, you can say more experienced staff, supervision, skepticism, you know, you'll get those marks as long as they're on the right-hand side. Happy? Okay, can I continue, guys? Okay. I think I missed the one, the new finance director, right? Chances are, in a year, you might find it difficult to understand all the policies and things like that. So there could be errors, there could be things that he could miss, right? But we don't know what exactly it is. So at overall financial statement level, there's a chance that you might miss something, but we don't know what it is, right? Do you agree? Yeah. Okay, so new finance director is an indicator. Okay. UTL decided to early adopt IFRS 15 revenue from contracts with customers for the financial year ended 30 June 2018. The FD and the Audit Com do not think that this change will have a significant impact on the financial statement since most of the business or orders are contract-based and there is no much difference with the current IS 18 revenue accounting standard that was applied by UTL before changing to IFRS 15. The Audit Committee indicated that it is satisfied that the task force put in place to ensure the implementation of IFRS 15 was successful, did its job diligently, and there is no doubt that this was a success. The IFRS 15 task force comprised of the following members. Lucas Torreira, who was an audit manager on the prior year audit and joined UTL from GSN on 1 July 2017. Does this show you something, guys? This shows you that this is not my first time auditing this client. Can you see? Can you see it? This is not GSN's first time auditing this client. It's the first bullet on summary of discussion points with UTL. Okay? Lucas is not a qualified CA, and most of his clients that he worked on were real estate clients whose complicated financial statement line items were investment properties measured in terms of IS 40, except UTL, which is in the manufacturing business. Alex Lacazette, who is the marketing director of UTL, and Unai Emery, who is the financial director at UTL. Unai was appointed to this role on 1 July 2017. Also, that is just new financial director, right? We've spoken about that. In addition to implementing IFRS 15, the task force was also tasked to assess the impact of IFRS 16 leases on UTL and its financial statements. The task force determined that the accounting standard would have an impact on the way that leases are accounted for by UTL. The amounts were reasonably estimated by the task force. The audit committee chairperson was, however, concerned that focusing on IFRS 16 would not be beneficial as the standard is only effective for financial periods beginning on or after 1 January 2019. She then indicated UTL will not be paying any audit fees related to testing of IFRS 16 and that auditors have no obligation to test IFRS 16 for the financial year ended 30 June 2018. Since IFRS 16 is not applicable, the engagement partner, Ms. Lerato Mokone, however, indicated that she did not agree with this notion and that she would need to consult with the firm's technical department on the impact thereof. Right. Guys, I think this question, nobody in this room got it correct. You all got presentation marks, except for one or two that would write something that was more aligned to what I was looking for. So I don't think anybody got more than 2 marks on that question. It was the one relating to IFRS 16. Yeah, definitely. It's a quick one. I'll discuss it with you. Let's see, what question is it? It was what? F, right? What was the question saying? Right. Prepare a memorandum to be sent to UTL's audit committee for Lerato Mokone's review regarding her concerns on IFRS 16. Clearly indicate why Lerato does not agree with the audit committee, right? So do you know what I was looking for? So most of you says early, some of you were talking about early adoption. Some of you said if you adopted IFRS 15, you can adopt IFRS 16. Yeah, I agree. Those are things that are in the standard, right? But you can't take those things and force them and say, hey, apply IFRS 16 now because I want to test it. Do you agree? right? Because I can tell you I'm not going to apply it until next year when it's effective, right? But what was the issue? Do you know where your answer was? Right? Not necessarily Companies Act, but it was in IS 8. So I think it was you that I said you were in the right direction, but then went back to your adoption and early adoption, right? So IS 8 paragraph 30, guys. Nobody has an IFRS in here, right? Can I tell you what it says? Paragraph 30. Can I tell you what it says? Okay, IS 30 paragraph 8, right? It says, IS 8, changes in accounting policies and what, right? States when an entity has not applied a new IFRS that has been issued but not yet effective. So do you agree? These guys have not yet applied it, but IFRS 16 has been issued, it's a final standard, but it's not yet effective. So this line is applicable, right? The entity shall disclose this fact and known or reasonably estimable information relevant to assessing the possible impact that application of the new IFRS will have on the entity's financial statements in the period of initial application, right? So these guys have done that assessment. They know, they have assessed, they've completed that assessment, right? So IS 8 is telling them, hey, you need to disclose these in relation to IFRS 16, right? So if you're telling me I'm not going to do audit work that is related to IFRS 16, yet IS 8 says disclose those things, I must look at the numbers, I must be happy about what you're going to disclose in your financial statements. If you don't disclose these things, then you're not complying with IS 8. IS 8 has got a bold, this paragraph is in bold in IS 8, right? So that's what I was looking for.
So how do you get your 7 marks?
Okay, how do you get your 7 marks? Okay, so IFRS 16 is a new and final standard that has been issued but not yet, but only effective for the financial periods beginning on or after 1 January 2019, right? Ultra Tough Limited has performed an assessment, that's another mark. They have, right? You agree in the scenario. And therefore, has a reasonable estimate on the impact when IFRS 16 will be applied. The financial statements, because if you go then to paragraph 31, the next paragraph, it tells you what you can disclose. So the financial statements will therefore need to be included, to include the above listed requirements, that's 3, and can consider the following in terms of IS 8 paragraph 31. The title of the new IFRS, the nature of the impending change, the date by which application of the IFRS is required, the date at which, as at which it plans to apply the IFRS initially. After the above have been disclosed, we would, of course, need to audit the disclosure, therefore, to ensure consistency with the audit work and what we would have performed, as well as the requirements of the relevant accounting standards. And then you've got your presentation mark as well.
So the management was right.
In saying, no, they were wrong in saying they won't pay anything related to IFRS 16 because I have to do this work required by IS 8 in changes policies and things like that, right? But they were right that it's not yet effective. I can't force it on them. Early adoption is permitted if you started applying IFRS 15, but I can't force it on them. But the only way I can force certain things that they need to disclose is IS 8. Happy? Okay, guys, I think it's important that you know this part because it can easily be asked, especially with, it might not be in auditing, it might be in accounting, especially with the IFRS 16 coming, and then you have your IFRS 15 and things like that. So it's important that you flag it. You don't have, it's not complicated. It's just that requirement. So just read the solution, you'll see. Okay, guys, can I continue? I'm a bit more comfortable with that question now. Okay. In July 2017, a cash-settled share-based payment plan was introduced for executives who will receive a bonus on 15 October 2018 in relation to the financial year ended 30 June 2018. The amount of the bonus will be based on the increase in UTL's share price from 1 July 2017, the listing date, when it was 75 Rand per share, to the share price at 30 September 2018. The additional requirement is that UTL's profitability should increase by 30% from 2017 to the 2018 financial year. Do you see the indicators there, guys? Do you see the indicators? The other one we've talked about it. It's bonus linked to share price, right? What is the other one for a risk? Okay, we talked about the listing date already. Profitability, right? Okay, but do you know why I put in 30 September 2018? Oh, did I miss? I didn't give you your paper. Did you write? Sorry?
Angel.